Now, to say that the Cold Steel Recon 1 isn't a living legend would be an understatement. And here in America, one thing is definitely true. Bigger is better. So of course we would design a Recon 1 XL for extra large fun and extra large jobs. But these aren't the only extra large folders Cold Steel makes. There's the Raja 2, there's the Espada. So how does this Recon 1 XL set itself apart from those more budget offerings? And is it able to hold its own against the more premium and heavy duty 5 Max? So when this sample arrived from Cold Steel, I said to myself, we gotta put this to the test. Well, I'm gonna attempt to answer those questions and just take you guys along for the ride with some massive, overbuilt, ridiculous, but ridiculously fun folders today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. For all you regular viewers, thanks for joining me on this wild ride. We're gonna have a ton of fun. So the first big way that the XL Recon 1 separates itself from the pack is on the business end. Now, it has somewhere between 5 1/4 and 5 1/2, let's say 5 3/8 of an inch long blade, which lots of these other models are right in that same range. But those 3 letters right there, XHP, steel, let's go. If you're not familiar with XHP, if you already have used it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing holds an excellent edge. It's kind of like souped up D2. Is kind of what the properties are, but you can get between 60 and 64 HRC, and it holds an edge, man. It absolutely holds an edge and is going to beat out those other steels that Cold Steel uses in edge retention. So you're getting a far superior edge holding capability. It will take a little bit longer to resharpen. You better have a diamond stone like on a work sharp or something like that. But this thing is going to require way less maintenance on the resharpening for slashing and cutting tasks. And to me, is just kind of a cool, exotic, exciting choice in steel. And leave comments if you've used that steel before. What do you think about it? Now, you knife users know that you can have the sickest, most exotic steel in the world, but if it doesn't have the right grind geometry and edge geometry, it doesn't matter how cool and exotic your steel is. Well, that's the second aspect on the blade that stands out, is that this is one of the thinner models at 3.8 millimeters thick with a full flat grind and a steep edge geometry. So what do you think that means? Slicey, dude, slicey. Look at how big that is and how it's easily able to go through there. Super clean cuts, dude. Very clean. Oh my gosh. Dude, able to grip that thing. Even though it's a big blade, I'm doing these very fine cuts. Cuts that a like 3-inch, you know, super slicey blade would normally do. Bye-bye, yoga mat. One cut all the way through. Huge power, I mean maximum power. Look at that, one push, dude. Okay, this will be interesting. Can I hack through a water hose? Oh my gosh. Look at that, all to right there, very minimal. Let me see if I'm gonna try and do it a little harder. Right there, sweet spot. There it goes. There it goes. Dude, let's go. 7,000 pound toe strap, no problem. So the reach plus sliceology, and yes, that is a technical term, is vicious. It's a raptor claw wrapped in a JDAM with the speed of a Vulcan cannon. So it might be able to slice like a laser powered scalpel, but what about harder stuff and hard impact? No Cold Steel test with a triad lock would be complete without a batoning test. Do not recommend this, but let's get some birch. Oh, heck yes. Look at that knot. Dude, went through 2 knots, and of course, solid. Nice and solid, no problems. Well, you tell me, I'm not getting any damage, maybe one little tiny burr right here with all of the hacking, batoning, slashing, doing everything, and that was probably impacting little pieces of sand and grit on my stump that might have caused that. So basically like banging it up against a rock, but this still has miles to go before I need to rehone it. So it's definitely a showstopper and stands out from the other Cold Steel blades on the business end. But what about the handle? Is it basically the same, or are there actually 1 or 2 things that might help it be more carryable? Because I know some of you guys are like, dude, who's carrying this? Who's gonna put that in their pocket? Obviously, a standard Recon is gonna be a lot easier, but you might be surprised how easy it is in most pairs of shorts, but especially with the ones I'm wearing today. I mean, just check that out. Boom, that's in there, no problem. Pull it out. And these shorts happen to be from the sponsor of today's video, which is LA Police Gear, and these are their Terrain Stealth Athletic Shorts. And what really stands out for me is how many pockets you get with these type of shorts. Normally you get 2, maybe a third. These are sporting 8 different pockets for you to choose from that will absolutely handle a 7-inch Recon XL in the main pocket, but then you can pop it in the 4 and 8 o'clock pocket. Boom, right back there, baby. Ready to be deployed at a moment's notice and out of the way of all of your other gear. And then you have your 2 standard back pockets, but you also get dual zip-up pockets that can easily handle a smartphone or your wallet. So this makes for a great pair of shorts when you are doing things like mountain biking. I use the lined versions for that. What I'm wearing today is the unlined versions for more casual, just kind of hang out, wear several different color combos and 3 different inseam lengths to choose from. Means that you'd think that this would be a pretty expensive pair of shorts. Currently, when I'm making this video, 24 bucks. $24 on sale for these shorts is kind of bananas. I have 2 versions that I've been using all spring and early summer for all types of different events. So guys, I encourage you, check them out. They'll not only carry these big Cold Steel folders, but so many other pieces of your EDC system. I'll have a link popping up. It's in the description box below as well. And I do have my exclusive 10% off promo code you can actually apply site-wide, helping you save just a little extra cash this summer. So that is the second part. This thing is thin, and at 8 ounces, you might think, oh my gosh, that feels like a brick. But when you compare it to all of the other models we're gonna look at here in just a moment, this is the lightest of them all. So the most carryable of these extra large folders, in my opinion. And you get that rigid G10 giving you structure, some texture, and because of the size of handle, you get quad grip points, including front grip, so you can use that entire Ricasso platform as a giant, basically resting choil. Then your standard grip with those cutouts, you're locked in to do all sorts of different tasks. Then you can back up one more, kind of giving you a mid grip for some light slashing, penetration, things like that. And then you got your full back grip there for any type of hacking or maximum reach. Now, depending on how you want to use your blade, it's not the master of disaster in every category compared to these other folders. And first, we'll look at value. Again, do appreciate Cold Steel sending me this sample to test out, run it in for you guys, show you what it can and can't do, so you can decide if you want a pocket sword or not, and if this one is the right choice, or maybe one of these other ones I'm about to run in here. So I was hunting around. The standard from like the good distributors like Knife Center, Blade HQ, you're gonna at about 280 bucks. So under $300, which is kind of crazy for this type of steel, this size range, and the reliability of the classic and just legendary Recon profile, triad lock, all of that. Now, I was hunting around. Amazon does have them currently for $220. So if you're looking to save every dime, you can go that route. Just make sure you're checking the seller. Amazon was the seller of that, so that's good. But you know, if it's some weird random seller you never heard of, that could be, you know, a counterfeit. So you kind of make your choice. Know for sure you're getting the real deal going through the proper distributors like Blade HQ and Knife Center, or if you want to save every dime. I've bought many Cold Steels without issue through Amazon, but you always kind of make sure who you're buying it from. So let's run in. I'm going to go Primo first, and all of those links in the description, popping up wherever I can. The 5 Max. So the 5 Max with S35VN. S35VN is a better rounded steel. It's on paper a little bit tougher usually. You know, obviously I haven't seen any issues and damage or problems with any of my XHPs that I've ever owned, but arguably more rust resistant, usually a little bit more durable, will not hold its edges as long as the Recon XL. So that's something you need to consider. This thing is a monster and a half though, much thicker, much more durable tip. That's one thing I wanted to hit on. This has a very precise tip. If you pry with this thing, you're gonna snap it on the Recon 1. That is not the case with this guy. This is basically a survival knife. In every way, it just folds. So it's way heavier, it's way thicker, broader, very capable, good edge geometry, but you're gonna feel it in the pocket. You are going to see it in the wear resistance capability, but also in the toughness. So if you're just like maximum toughness and you want to fold her to hack, chop, baton, basically treat like a camp knife, this is probably ultimately the better choice. It will not slice or hold its edge anywhere near as long as this Recon 1. And because of the steel liners and just so much more. So it is the premium offering at over $300. So you're gonna invest some money, but you're gonna get maximum durability if that's what you're looking for on the Max, on the 5 Max, excuse me. But you may be saying, well, dude, for under $100 sometimes I can score a Raja 2 with AUS 10 steel. Now AUS 10 is not gonna hold its edge anywhere near like the XHP. It's probably on par with durability from my personal experience. Your mileage may vary. The big thing is going to be size and weight. This thing is 6 inches. It's going to be huge in the handle, very fat, great for ergonomics. If you're not worried about the profile in the pocket, maybe you're wearing it around, you know, your property, or, you know, you're just in areas where it's not a urban environment. This thing is definitely a good option, but it is much thicker, again, with a full flat grind. So this will still, the Recon 1 XL is going to still be slicier and still have way more wear resistance and easier to carry in the pocket. But if you're looking for fun factor and just like maximum swing ability, the Raja 2 is definitely on the list, and the best value of all of these at under sometimes $100, right, floats right around there. Then we got the AUS 10 version of the Espada. There is an Espada XL, even bigger than this, but I liked doing it with this model because it's about the same size. They're almost identical in size. You do get G10 on this. It's just basically a steel upgrade, and again, even though they have about the same stock thickness, you get a flat grind, so more durable grind, and isn't going to be as slicey as this model. That's where the Recon 1 keeps winning, is in sliceability. So if that's what you want, slicing, that's where this is going to excel over any of these other ones. If you're wanting tip durability, if you're wanting thicker, more broad grinding, that is where the other models are going to win, if you don't mind carrying a little bit of the extra weight and less wear resistance. So hopefully that is really unpacking for you guys what this model compared to all the others brings to the table. Awesome. I mean, if you were to ask me, of all of these that we're talking about, which one would I actually carry on a regular basis in my pocket for my environment where I live and what I do, it would be this model because of how thin it is in the profile of the grind and how lightweight and slim it is in the pocket. It's the easiest to carry and it's the sliciest, which is what I personally would look for. But your mileage may vary, what you may want and need varies as well. So leave comments, let me know what your favorite XL version of the Cold Steel folders that we talked about today is for you. And if you already own the Recon XL, what do you think about it? How has it been working for you? Always appreciate your guys' time hanging with me today. Hope it's scratched that blade itch for you. Till next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.